Welcome to the Front 7 podcast right here on YouTube. I am your host, Money Mike. And folks, the 2016 NFL Draft just got shaken up with a big blockbuster trade. And you know, it's funny, I've been working on some stuff for a show coming up probably next week about the Cleveland Browns and their poor history at drafting quarterbacks. And I was going to talk about how maybe Jared Goff and Carson Wentz could be the guy they are looking for, finally, unless there was some trade that prevented them from getting who they wanted. And now we have that trade here, except the fact that the reports are saying that the Cleveland Browns actually are ecstatic about this trade, especially if the reports are true, that the Rams really want Carson Wentz. Because the reports basically are saying the Browns prefer Jared Goff over Wentz. So unless there's something with the Rams where they were trying to jump Cleveland to get Goff and not Wentz, then we'll have to see what happens there, because that's a possibility. But as it has broken down today, folks, if you have not heard, and by the time this airs you probably will have heard it, the Los Angeles Rams were picking 15th in the draft. This is a NFL record for the lowest team, or a team with the lowest pick to move up to number one, and how the farthest they've done it. So nobody's ever moved up from 15 to 1. It's a history type of deal. And it's funny because 4 years ago this time, the Rams executed a similar trade with the Washington Redskins, where the Redskins drafted RG3. And in a very similar trade, except, well, the Redskins only moved up 4 spots from 6 to 2. The Rams are going up 14 spots 4 years later for their franchise quarterback. And they have given up the farm to do so. They are in a new city, new town. They need to get their guy. They need to get Rams fans in Los Angeles excited for the 2016 season, and they have done just that. Now, I do not agree with this trade because of what they gave up. Now, I had been working on a mock draft that I penciled in San Francisco or Philadelphia to make this trade and move up to number 1. I did not think the Rams would do it because the Rams were too far back. I kind of penciled out the Eagles a little bit because the Eagles, they didn't have a second round pick. So I was pretty much set on San Francisco jumping from 7 to 1 in order to take Wentz or Goff. But now another NFC West team has done just that. And now it seems the 49ers are going to have to wait another year. And they may have to stick it out with Kaepernick and Blaine Gabbert for another year, which could lead them to the number 1 pick in 2017. Now, let's go into trade details here, folks. Tennessee gets their first round pick this year. They get both of their second round picks. And remember, the Rams had a second round pick from the Nick Foles trade with the Eagles. So the Eagles didn't have that second round pick in order to go up from 13 to 8 with the trade with the Dolphins, and then go to 8 to 1. Because the Rams had it, and the Rams used that to move up to number 1 from 15. So now the Titans have not only moved back, but now they've got 2 second round picks, 2 third round picks in this year's draft, and they got the Rams' first and third round picks in 2017. And barring the success of the Rams, most likely the Titans are looking at 2 top 10 picks in next year's draft in the first round. I mean, this is an unbelievable haul for Titans general manager John Robinson. Everybody thought, oh, there's no way a team is going to give him that king's ransom that he kept talking about that he wanted. And then here comes the Rams. Les Snead, Jeff Fisher, most likely their last Hail Mary attempt in order to save their jobs. Because here we are, another draft, and we can't figure out why the Rams are still holding on to Les Snead, let alone Jeff Fisher. So, basically, this is a Hail Mary, a final Hail Mary for the Rams, who were interested in acquiring Peyton Manning if he wasn't retiring. And now they're going to go and get themselves a young franchise quarterback in either Carson Wentz or the local California quarterback, Jared Goff. And as I said, I'm not a fan of this. They gave up way too much. Sitting at 15, I really think the Rams really should have just sat back at 15. If there was a player they liked, maybe move up to 10, 9, 8, whatever, and just kind of build the team. But now they just threw away the depth, any additional depth that the Rams needed to have on the team for this. I mean, similar to what Atlanta did in 2011 when they moved from 27 to 6 for Julio Jones. And then when the Falcons just suffered injuries, I mean, they just didn't have the depth because of the Julio Jones trade where they just traded so much away. They just didn't have the depth to really be competitive. You see teams like New England, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, they always have great depth behind their starters to where they can still compete even if their starters go down. The Rams in this case, if they get injuries, I'll be worried a bit if I was a Rams fan and hoping they stay healthy because they just gave up a lot of picks. And when you look at it, it's potentially top 10, basically 2 high round picks in the 2017 draft. And now you just gave up two second round pieces, or two second round picks that could have been used to gather the pieces, which is what I was trying to say, to build more depth among the team. Now remember, they don't have James Laurinaitis anymore. So when you look at somebody like Jalen Smith, with the injuries, they could have stashed him for a year, using one of those picks until he was healthy for next year. So now what do the Rams do? Basically, this is the Hail Mary, final Hail Mary for Les Snead and Jeff Fisher. At the end of the day, that's what this is. They're going to number 1. They're picking number 1. They're going to be drafting either Carson Wentz or Jared Goff. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you think of this trade. Rams fans, are you excited for this? Did you want to see this happen? Are you excited that you're going to potentially get your franchise quarterback? Or do you agree with what I said about they gave up too much? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be back for more of the front 7 later this week. But I had to cover this real quick. I mean, this is just huge breaking news. The Los Angeles Rams, and I'm still trying to get used to saying that. The Los Angeles Rams have traded with the Tennessee Titans to acquire the number 1 pick in the 2016 NFL Draft. The Tennessee Titans have now acquired a 4th rounder, a 6th rounder in this year's draft. Now the draft has been shaken up, and we'll see in 2 weeks what the impact will be come draft night. I've been your host, Money Mike, and I will see you later for more of the front 7 later this week.